All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Promise here with another StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm replay cast. This is going to be a Zerg versus Terran. Representing Team Liquid in the upper right side, we have Liquid Snute. He's going to be a red Zerg in this matchup. His opponent in the bottom left side, representing Team Western Wolves, it is going to be our blue Terran player, MorroW. Of course, Zerg versus Terran, an extremely fun matchup to cast as of late. I've been having so much fun watching players' streams. A few Zerg players that I like to watch. I like watching Nurchio. I like watching Idra. I think that's about it. Just those two players, kind of, just because they stream the most out of everyone. I know Spanishiwa has been playing quite a little bit of Heart of the Swarm as well, but he definitely has some things going on with school. Stay in school, kids. Don't kind of give yourself a little bit of a sacrifice if you're going to be going into pro gaming or anything like that. But of course, talking about the Zerg, Liquid Snute. This is a replay from his replay pack, which is posted on teamliquid.net. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Definitely a very highly mechanical player, a guy that kind of came out of nowhere. He's not the person that likes to go to a lot of tournaments. His recent team, or his team before joining Team Liquid, was, I believe, Gamers League. Not a big team. Definitely not a team that has, huge amounts of money to go ahead and send their players all over the world to play in these tournaments. But Liquid Snute now on the Team Liquid, of course, definitely going to have a lot more opportunities. And, I mean, let's talk build orders so far. Early on, we're not seeing any quick pulls from Snute, so we're not going to be looking for, or he's not going to be going for any kind of early aggression. Probably going to be going for this 15 hatch. There it is. Boom. Being placed down at the natural expansion. So very, very standard. 15 hatch. Usually followed by a 15 pull, 16 pull. Sometimes Zerg players even like to go for a 16 gas, just because Reaper openings have been very, very prevalent as of late in Zerg versus Terran. There's this pull coming down from Snute. We'll definitely keep an eye to see if he goes ahead and takes any kind of gas in the main base. So MorroW, on the other hand, going for a command center first. MorroW, very fond of being very macro-oriented. Of course, it's not like he's predictable. You're not really going to go into a tournament series and tell yourself, okay, MorroW is probably going to be doing for Command Center first. It's not how it works in tournament series. In a best-of-3 format, in a best-of-5 format, build orders are consistently changing with these players. So MorroW right now is just going to go for this barracks, following the Command Center. We'll see what he decides to go for. The metagame-ish, I guess you can say, in Zerg versus Terran has been a very quick third Command Center, very similar to Wings of Liberty. So these are definitely going to be some things we want to be looking out for. Snute's natural is going to finish. Has he grabbing any sorts of gas? Yes, he has. So Snute is actually going to do what I kind of predicted. So he's going to be getting gas. He's going to get 100 gas and probably get his metabolic boost. Now, Snute, kind of a little bit to piggyback on this point. You see a lot of Zerg players get this gas, but they do not get speed. Some of them actually go for a quick Roach Warren. They make something like 6 roaches, do a little bit of pressure, and then take a third behind it. This is going to keep the Terran on their tippy toes. If they're taking a quick third, they're going to have to make up some units. If they're being very greedy with the third and even sending a command center to just actually land it, it's not going to work. Because Zerg players, if you're going to be going for that quick Roach build, you're going to have a lot of units on the map to really, really pressure the Terran player. But now MorroW is not looking like he's going to take a third just yet. Getting a reactor onto this barracks. Also going to be getting a factory. We're going to see the bunker being placed here at the natural expansion. Beautiful position for the bunker here for MorroW. Of course, any kind of bailing bust or anything like that. Definitely very, very important to keep on top of where you want to place your units, your buildings. SimCity, still pretty important Heart of the Swarm. And I feel like such a genius. A Roach Warren being thrown down from Snute. And has he grabbing speed? No, he's not taking speed. Okay, so this is a pretty intelligent prediction. Now, I did not know if Snute was actually going to do this. I would have assumed he's going to be going for metabolic boost, but I love this Roach Warren from Snute. Metagame still revolves around Hellions. You can see in the production tab right now for MorroW, where you're seeing a pair of Hellions going to soon pop out here out of the factory. There is that third command center that I'm talking about. Now, these Roaches are going to be able to defend the early pressure here from MorroW. Snute is most likely going to be taking a third behind it. He's actually making 10, 11 Roaches. Whoa! That is a lot of Roaches in the production tab for our Zerg. His economy, if you look at the harvester count, 32 to 31. Both players pretty even. MorroW's now going to go ahead and start controlling the map here with these first 2 initial Hellions. Going to control the left watchtower. Probably going to swing around, get a little bit of a poke here towards that right tower, which is on the side of Snute. He's going to see the roaches, and immediately MorroW knows he cannot attack into 3 roaches. I mean, 2 Hellions against 3 roaches. Roaches are going to win. Now, what, 12 roaches against 2 Hellions? Should be pretty damn obvious, guys, who's going to win that. But Snute's not all in with this. He's going to go ahead and just make these quick initial roaches. There is that 3rd command center. Behind it, he's just been making drones up to 37 harvesters. Current roach count right now from Snute is 12, and that's a lot of units. And MorroW, this is just such a really good counter to the build order MorroW's going for. If he would have added, a bunch of barracks instead of this 3rd command center, he could defend this, but that's kind of the metagame. And Snute is abusing it, going to make his way towards the natural expansion. Going to start to focus down some of these units, and these Widow Mines, of course, burrowed, undetected right now for Snute. Going to be able to take a few hits here onto these roaches. Hellions are going to come from the natural expansion of MorroW. Of course, Hellions not great against roaches, as I mentioned earlier. But now Snute he doesn't even care at this point. He can just keep the roaches back here behind it, getting his lair. His 3rd is nearing completion, getting additional drones. This is so annoying for MorroW. Snute is just delaying any sort of mining. A little bit of lag spike there. Not too sure what that was about, but he's delaying this mining from the natural expansion for MorroW. He's finally going to get some Marauders. Of course, Marauders counter these roaches. Nice little control here by both players. Snute still leads in supply, 75 to 64. There is the 3rd command center already added. Nicely done there by Snute. Also, for MorroW, we're seeing Stim. Para barracks have been added as well back home. Going up to the starport, probably going to be seeing medevacs. Of course, this is bioplay. Mech is still pretty used in Heart of the Swarm, but double engineering bay, this many barracks, getting his upgrades. 100% tell right now that this is going to be bio. If he wasn't going for these barracks and added on maybe 2-3 factories with some tech labs, 100% it's going to be mech. But MorroW going for bio, definitely a style he's used a lot in Wings of Liberty. We'll go ahead and see if it can be successful in Heart of the Swarm. 3rd expansion, of course, as I mentioned before, has been completed. Snute going to start making additional harvesters, sending in some drones, now up to 59. Let's compare upgrades. It looks like MorroW's going to have a little bit of an advantage. He's going to have +1 weapons and armor completed a little bit sooner compared to Snute. Not a big deal, because Snute already has some units on the map to deal with it. A little bit of supply blockage, 7 Overlords in the production tab, so Snute definitely doesn't want to be supply blocked at crucial stages. But here is where we have to look at the Zerg player's tech. He's mainly been on roaches, his lair is completed, he's getting the glider reconstitution, which is of course roach speed. He has the Overlord speed as well, so Snute... is this going to be drops, or is this just going to be, to send Overlords around the map to spot for medevacs and things like that? He's sending quite a few Overlords across the map, making some more roaches. MorroW's going to be able to do a little bit of pressure, but that's so many roaches here from MorroW. Snute, MorroW, does he have Stim? Stim's completed. MorroW doesn't even care that he's going to lift up these medevacs. He actually just got the best scouting information in the game right now. He sees these roaches. He sees the Overlords making their way towards the natural expansion. Snute is being so aggressive. 150 supply with 58 drones. A little bit low eco, excuse me as I stutter over my words, but now we're going to see the roaches here make their way towards the main base. We're going to have the Overlords come in as well. 100 supply for MorroW. MorroW does not have a lot of units. The Marines and the Marauders are going to help a little bit. He's going to take some damage with these SCVs, but that is just so many units being focused down here by Snute. And I mean, MorroW, maybe he's going to clean it up, but he's going to lose so many harvesters. Workers lost up to 20. Oh my god, that's so much damage being done here by Snute. Even dropping the Overlord, pooping on that main base of MorroW. MorroW defended, but now he lost 32 harvesters. He's even going to lose more than that. Probably like around 45 if I was to guess. I guess I'm a little bit close. 39 to be exact. But Snute still making roaches behind it. No other tech really right now from Snute. He has not added a Spire. Is not really continuing to be on top of his upgrades. He's getting his Carapace, so that's pretty good for Snute. But MorroW not in the best position. He's going to clean it up. He's going to lose a lot. Of course, his 3rd command center is still in the main base. He hasn't been mining off of 3-base economy. Obviously, he's just now going to get a bunker at the 3rd expansion. So he's going to start to gear up to start taking this 3rd expansion. But Snute has been on 3 bases. He can even take a 4th if he decides to do. It's not going to do that. He's actually going to go straight into a Hydralisk Den. So Roach Hydra, looking like it's going to be the main army composition here from Snute, which is very, very good against Bio. Of course, you can transition a little bit later into Vipers. You have the Blinding Cloud ability, which is basically like the Defiler from Brood War, and you have the Abduct ability, which basically snatches things. Very, very good in Zerg versus Protoss against the Colossus-based army. But now we're going to see Snute swing around here towards the natural or towards the third expansion. MorroW's going to have enough units here to be able to clean this up, and Stim has been done. 1-1 is done as well for MorroW. No upgrades yet have been completed for Snute. This is exactly the kind of advantage you're having in Terran versus Zerg when you have this kind of an upgrade advantage. I mean, look how quickly these roaches die. So MorroW trying to come back in this game, still not in the best position. We see 82 supply to 112, a little bit closer than before. MorroW, of course, going to use that Afterburner's ability with these medevacs. Might even want to just swing around into the main base. Production tab for Snute. Now he sees these units. He has to make something. Making roaches, making Hydralisk. Now he's going to get started on his missile attacks as well as his Carapace. Level 1. MorroW already ahead of Snute, going into 2-2, which is halfway completed. So MorroW, slowly but surely crawling his way back in this game. But oh my god, that is a lot of roaches and Hydralisks here from Snute. MorroW trying to kind of position himself towards the third expansion. Not really going to be able to do too much against this many roaches and Hydralisk. But this bought MorroW enough time to go ahead and get this third base landed. He's making more SCVs. He's up to 42 to 58. Snute is probably going to need to get some more drones. I mean, he's making 3. Most Zerg players at this point would maybe be around the 70-80 mark and just hammering out units. Taking a 4th, taking a 5th, even teching up to Hive, maybe even Ultralisks. Which are becoming rather popular in Zerg versus Terran. Of course, Zerg players and Wings of Liberty, if you're going to be going Ultralisks, that's kind of, I mean, if you're like way ahead and you have the game 110% won, you're going to make Ultralisks just to make your opponent look like a fool, or else you're most likely going to be going into a Broodlord army composition. So now Snute's going to 10 more drones in the production tab. That's what I'm talking about, Snute. Getting back into the economy, going to hit it up to 65. MorroW, very close in supply once again, 129 to 162. We're going to see that 2-2 start kicking in for MorroW. Snute knows that there's a possibility of an attack. We're having Overlords come into the main base to go ahead and scout a little bit. Another Overlord here towards a natural expansion. Just kind of seeing what, how many structures MorroW has in the main base. That's not a lot of units here from MorroW, and these many Hydras and Roaches, Snute is easily going to be able to clean this up. MorroW does not want to overextend with this. That's not a lot of units at all for MorroW. He has an upgrade advantage, but look at the way Snute has his army positioned. He has a very good concave that MorroW is not going to be able to clean up. He's going to make some siege tanks, which are going to help tremendously against a Roach Hydra army composition, but Infestation Pit, I just saw that in production tab, still hammering out these upgrades, getting some more Hydralisks. This is most likely possibly transition into Vipers to get some Blinding Cloud on these by, but here we go. Mars going to attack into it. 137 supply to 183. Snute's really using the DPS here of these Hydralisks, but that is so many Marauders and Marines going to be able to clean their way through a lot of these Roaches, but still, with the upgrade advantage, Snute just has more stuff, man. He has more Hydras and more Roaches, and MorroW cannot attack into that. Absolutely not. And Snute is just still hammering out the Hydras, making the Roaches, going up to this Hive. Metabolic boost, actually, 17 minutes into the game. I'm not too sure what that's about. Maybe Snute kind of forgot it, or maybe he just is not planning to use Zerglings in this game. Just as I say that, we're going to have 10 lings in the production tab right now for Snute. But so far, MorroW, he's been on 3 bases for quite some time. Probably going to want to take a 4th. There's the 4th command center being thrown down. This is probably going to be the location where he decides to go for that expansion. But here we go. Snute basically maxed out, 191 supply to 155 supply. We're still seeing siege tanks, Marines, Marauders, 3-3 soon to complete here for MorroW, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, 13 Marauders, 40 Marines. We're going to see these Hydralisks make their way towards the natural expansion. We're going to see MorroW send in some more SCVs towards the natural as well, but that is just so many Hydras and Roaches. I don't think MorroW is going to be able to clean this up. He's even going to lose more Harvesters. 57 workers lost in this game. Snute does not really have to worry about anything, although we're having a drop in the main base right now. MorroW actually cleaned up this main, focusing down the Hive. Is this like a little bit of a base trade situation? I mean, Snute is on the other side of the map. MorroW is in the natural of Snute, but, I mean, head on. That's actually not a lot of Hydras, but, I mean, 144 supply to 83. 3-3 is soon to finish for MorroW. Even going to kill that natural hatchery. Wow. Can't even talk right now, guys. I'm just... I don't know. This game is just so back and forth. MorroW's in the natural of Snute. Snute's in the natural of MorroW. He's actually in the main base right now of MorroW, killing all the structures. MorroW focusing down the hatcheries. Now, Snute, is he just going to make some spine crawlers to Defending against this, he has 3 Spine Crawlers with the natural. MorroW's going to send the majority of his units here towards the third base as well, trying to focus down yet another hatchery. Quickly going to focus down these Spine Crawlers. Doesn't want these to actually do too much damage to his units. Every single unit counts right now, and it looks like MorroW, I don't think he has enough, quite honestly. That's a lot of Hydralisks. I'm going to look at the units count. 4 Roaches, 32 Hydras against 27 Marines, 9 Marauders, and 4 Medevacs. Snute's even making some Infestors. I feel like 2 Fungals would be great against this, or just enough. And actually, Snute has plenty of Hydras back here at the 4th expansion. Even going to tank some damage here with these drones. Snute knows that he has this game won. All he really has to do is kill the structures of MorroW. Now, MorroW can be a little bit annoying. Can lift up the command center, go a little bit more into like a Bronze League play. Just, you know, go into the corners of the map. I don't think MorroW is going to do that. But Snute is very, very good play so far. I mean, Hydra Roach, without even going into Vipers, very well played by Snute. That early Roach pressure, I feel, did so much damage, and that kind of was the game-deciding moment in the early stages of the game. MorroW now down to 41 supply, 121 supply for Snute, rebuilding the spawning pool, getting yet another hatchery. 4 barracks here being slammed down at the third base of MorroW, but I feel like it's a little bit too late for our Terran players. Snute has way more units compared to MorroW. Hydras are going to make their way towards the third base. Gonna spot this planetary. It doesn't even matter. MorroW throws out the GG, and that is going to do it for this cast. Congratulations to Liquid Snute taking out Western Wolves MorroW. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary. Go ahead and click the subscribe button onto my YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot more Heart of the Swarm cast to come in the future. Anyway, make sure you stay safe, good luck, and have fun.